Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you guys hear me? Just let me know if you can hear me, guys. Trying out some new stuff. Want to make sure it works. Hey, Robert Ramos, this should be a little informative. I don't know if it's going to be as entertaining as sports, but hey, maybe you can learn something tonight. We'll see. So, guys, if you were watching RC Air Marshal, I really appreciate what he was doing because not enough people take the time to explain how lipos work and how chargers work and Ohm's law, all those things. What's up, Just Plain Crazy? Ariel, RC Horizon. Guys, I'm not going to be able to give wrenches today because I'm using my phone for other stuff, but I will give wrenches. Just not right away, but I'll get it to you. So a lot of that stuff that RC Air Marshal was going over is pretty important stuff. The only thing I dislike about the smart chargers is that it kind of skips over all the stuff that people should be learning about the basics of lipos and electronics and how to charge and discharge rates, watts, all that stuff. Pearl Jam, what's up? How you doing? So gonna wait for a couple more people, then I'm gonna get started. I've got a few things to show you guys. Big shout out to Pilot Ryan. I won an S1500 charger from him through the one of his giveaways, and I'm gonna show you guys that. Kind of like an unboxing, sort of. Just gonna open it up and show you how it works, and then the main thing I'm gonna show you is the smart charger. I got a couple of smart batteries, and as much as I don't really think that I need them, it is kind of cool tech. So I'll show you. And Pearl Jam, I'm going to be working on burners for that plane. So let's talk about hooking something up for that A10. So hopefully we'll get another 3 people in here. If you guys haven't let people know, you can take this link, share it, and let people know that I'm streaming, so they can come take a look. I'm going to be balancing a Freewing 70mm 12-blade fan, the one that comes out of the new high performance F16 and the F35, and I think the new Hawk, the 70mm Hawk, it's going to be part of that too. So if you guys want to know how to get the most out of your fan, you're going to get some free info. Joe Habib, what's happening? So this will be some free info that you guys can take and use with just about almost all the EDFs on the market at the moment. What's up, Skyblazer? Wow, we got 14 people. Sweet. Okay. So, boom. Y'all get to see my ugly mug. So, got a better camera. Was able to get a webcam off of Amazon. Got this cool headset off of GB Linden's store. I need to put links in there. Hopefully he ends up showing up tonight. But that's why you guys can hear me, because of this thing. But I'm going to be doing the balance of that. Let me just show you what I'm talking about here. Go to this one. So here you can see what I'm talking about. So, what did you guys think of RC Air Marshall's stream? It was pretty cool to me. I like seeing stuff like that. We need to have more people explaining how things work. Smart tech is cool, but smart tech makes you skip over a lot of stuff that you need to know. What's up, Pilot Ryan? Hey, I was just talking about you. Oh, no sound on the bench shot. Okay, can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me now? So, let's go back to the bench shot. Let's see here. So here, this is the Freewing 70mm 12 blade, and it's got the the inrunner. That's the one that I'm going to be working on. But we're going to balance this puppy right here. This is something that not enough people do. They just get the plane and fire it up. And fly it. What's up, Hector LeBron? So let's see how many people. We got 29 people in here. Oh, cool. What's up, Reckon Roy? William Marketer. Guys, and again, I'm not giving wrenches right now because I'm using my phone. Mike Keller, what's happening? RC Air Marshal. I was just telling everybody about your show. Good stuff. George Watts, what's up? In Debt to RC, what's up? Robert Whitley, Michael Honeychuck. Thanks for coming, guys. Paul McNeil, howdy. So, guys, I will get to wrenches the next time. Can't do it today, but I'll get wrenches to all you guys. All right, so I'm going to switch over to another camera. Rackham, you're here to learn. Okay, let's hope I can teach you something. All right, so let's switch to that. All right, so let's take a look at some stuff here. Guys, I'm not going to be able to see the chat, so I'll be back in a bit. Let me go over some stuff that, you guys hear me okay? All right, give me just a second. Be right back. Okay, so let's get started. First, I want to go over, again, guys, I can't read the chat. I've got my phone set up doing other stuff. So I'm going to be blind here for a little bit. Maybe I won't. We'll turn it so I can see. There we go. I'll be able to see. So that's the fan. We already saw that. But let's do this. Big shout out to Pilot Ryan for this. I won this from his giveaway. And it's kind of cool. I don't have my power supply here with me, but I'll at least open it up. Take a look and see what's inside. This is the S1500, 500 watt. I guess this one requires an external. Yes, there are two screens. It has to be that way for a little bit. Otherwise, you won't be able to hear me. So there's, well, let me try the other way. Let's see. Now let's do it the way I'm doing it because I know it'll work. This mic works better. So it's the S1500. It's 500 watts, but you need an external power supply for this. So that's a little different, but I mean, I have one. It's no big deal. This is what comes with it. So it's a little charge lead. Let's open it up. I haven't gone through all the particulars yet, but I have looked at it once. Manual is pretty thick, so I'll have to go through that, make sure that I can take a look at what I'm supposed to and not supposed to do. No way. But that's the charger itself. Pretty cool. And then I got some smart batteries to go with it. A friend of mine, actually a customer of mine, sold me some of these smart batteries. They came with planes that he bought. This is a 30C 3S smart battery. I'll show you the smart checker here in a minute if I remember to bring it. Yeah, there it is. And then this is the 50C 3S. These are going to be used in my ME163, the Hobby King ME163. It's a 3S powered bird. Works pretty good. So let's see. So give me a second. I'm going to go grab the smart checker so you guys can hear. Let's see. This thing's pretty cool. So now that I have smart packs, I can actually use these to their full potential. So I'll put it back the way it was. It was better that way. So normally you have to plug stuff in along this right here, which is the balance lead. But these have the IC3 connectors, which are pretty cool. Got that little pin in the middle. Sends all this information through there. So plug that into there, and all this cool stuff shows up. Oh, let's move back this way. All that cool stuff shows up. So you're able to see all these things. You make all these different changes, storage, voltage, all this stuff you can do. It's pretty cool. Go back, go down, and then it tells you all this information. So it is pretty cool. But I recommend everybody go to that video that RC Air Marshal just did as a reference on the basics of batteries, chargers, watts, all that stuff. Gives you a pretty good idea of what it is you're supposed to do. You can hear a goose flying over me, sorry. I'm not going to go over all that right now, but I did want to show it because I just got this and I think it's pretty cool. You guys can see it. We'll put all that back in there and we'll get started on the balancing. I'm going to go through the whole thing so you'll get to see exactly what it is that I do. It is pretty easy. Okay, let me check out the chat. What are you guys saying? So I'm going to check on the chat, guys. Give me a second. Let's put that back. Yeah, thanks to the guys at Horizon for this, and thanks to Pilot Ryan for having them in that giveaway. I actually won something. I won 2 things, so I got that airplane too from Hangar 51. So cool. So I wanted to show you guys that. It's the smart checker, the smart packs, and I'll do more videos later explaining how these things work for me. I already know they're going to be pretty good. Let's go back to the other view for a minute. So I'm gonna get started here in a second. So I'm gonna catch up on the chat here. See what's going on. Thanks for all 45 people in here. Holy crap. All the guys that I've missed. As I was saying, I'm using my phone for other stuff at the moment, so I can't go through and give you guys wrenches. But I will. I'll do it on the replay. So there's questions about the smart charger. Let me see if I can get to them all. There you go up. So I'm checking on the questions in the chat, guys. Give me a second. I was trying to keep up, but it wasn't. So those of you that were asking questions, do you mind just throwing them in there again? I can't seem to find everything everybody was asking. Spencer Keith, it comes with a DC power cord, so you can use it with the battery or with a power supply. You just go down to the bottom, start over. Oh yeah, and I hear a siren going crazy. I know some people don't want me to get arrested, but it ain't gonna happen. And thanks, RC Marshall, for telling people about me doing my thing over here. Dude, I wish the siren would go already. Sheesh. What the heck? So guys, any questions about that stuff before I get started? Hey EQ, I live in Sunnyvale. If you have an iPhone, I live about 10 minutes from where they designed the iPhone. You know, on the back it says designed in Cupertino, made in China. Cupertino's right down the street. Say hi to the squirrel. I have a good camera now, you guys can see. That's Daisy, as my wife calls her. Anyway. So, let's see. Any other questions before I get started? Steve, I will go over all of that. It's really not that bad. You don't really need that many tools. You just reminded me, though, there is something that I do need that I don't have. So I'm going to have to go grab that. But I'll go over all the tools. And Wreck-'em Roy, no. Not unless it's an inrunner. Jackson, is it okay to charge a smart? What do you mean? Hey, RC Air Marshal, so Yahoo's still here. But just different. Facebook's getting a new headquarters here too. So let's see. Jeff in Lower Alabama, what were you asking? Let's keep in mind too, I haven't totally gone into all the details on the S1500 yet. I don't know everything it can do. I just opened it. As far as I know, it will do regular charging. With smart packs, if I remember right, you can plug them in and it knows what to do. Jonathan Savage, I hope I am. Yeah, Joe Habib, this is an Amazon find, and it showed up in a couple days, so I'm pretty happy. And then I'm using my phone for the other one. Michael Roach, what's happening? Again, guys, you guys that just showed up, you'll get wrenches the next time around. I'm using my phone for other stuff, and I can't go through. But I need you to give me a second because I have to go. Mickey BRC, what's up? I have to go grab some tools. So give me just a second. I'm going to go to the other screen. You can hear all the birds. You'll hear everything in the back. Be right back. All right, y'all. It's getting set up. All right. So let's see what I missed. Okay, so Jonathan Savage, yes, they have what's basically a brushed ESC. Paul McNeil, yeah, Lake Tahoe's a couple hours for me. Don't need no stinking brushes. Brushless is best. But the brushed ESCs work great for this application, and I chose the ones that are the easiest to work with. And then I make changes to them. I'm not really going to go over the burners today because I don't have time. I don't want to take forever. But let us switch to the other one. So guys, there's going to be a split screen, just so you know. There we go. It's going to be a split screen. This camera is going to go the one where you see my face. This one going away. But you'll see the other one. You'll be able to hear me on this one. Then we're going to the other one. So I'm going to try to keep it where I can see the chat. So give me a second so I can get set up. So let's see if I can check the chat before I get started. All right. So Keon, what are you talking about? What are you guys saying here? Let me see if I can see. Oh, so Spencer Keith running my F-22 on smartphones. Let's see. Oh, now I get it, EQ. Sorry, I get it. That's a 4000. So okay, let me switch around here so I can get everything situated on my computer so I can see the chat. All right, so let me go over the parts I have here, the stuff that I've got. Got to be here. All right, so the fan. We'll get to that later. This is the pack that I'm using at the moment. China Hobby Line 6S70C 4000. You could use, for this type of thing, you could use a regular 3 or 4S pack, because I'm not going to run this up all the way, but this gives you an idea. That's just what I'm using for power. So the tools that you will need. So you need some Allen. Allens, which I've got there. I think this is a 2mm. Oh, 2.5. Where? Am I 2.5? Should be. Where'd it go? Yeah, there it is. 2.5 is right here. There we go. All right, so let me get all the tools laid out. So it depends on the fan you're using, but for this fan, this is using an Allen, and I'm using a 2.5mm on there. Okay, so fan, you need this to mess with the spinner. Once you get the spinner off, the first thing you do is tighten this. Tighten the collar with this. What is this? The adapter with this. Okay. Then the most important part is the weight. I just use electrical tape, scissors to cut the electrical tape, a marker to mark on here, and then alcohol and a paper towel to clean off the outside and the inside of this. So let's get started. Okay. So any questions before I get going, guys? All right, let's see what's going on here. I'm checking up on the chat before I get started. And I have neighbors, so if you hear noise, that's what it is. So Jonathan Savage, did you buy anything? I think you got something from me, if I remember right. I think you got something from me, or was it from the light burner? I don't remember. Your name does sound familiar, though. Okay, so let's do a very come on. What the hell? What happened to the damn? No. I don't know what the heck that was. Okay, sorry guys. So let's get started. First thing you do, I'm gonna pull it apart. Make sure everything is tight, because Nate had one of these fly off on him. So, see, I was able to tighten it just a little bit more. Tighten it down. Now, since we have it off, let's clean it out. Get the release off if there is any. Otherwise, the tape won't stick. the alcohol on there. Get all this stuff out. Can you guys hear me okay? So let's see here. Get that in there. Get all that dry. So I think that they may have put weight in here already. But almost every time that they do this, it leaves a little to be desired. And if it goes a little off, it's okay, because I'll go over it again. So let's put on that back. All right, let's get it all connected. So I have an ESC here. This is the one that comes in the plane, a hobby wing, 80 amp. Then I've got a servo tester. You could even use the smart checker for that, but I'm not going to use that this time. I'm just going to use this. So let's see. Let's see what direction it's going in. It's going backwards. Let's flip it. Okay, so get started. So one of the do is I'll make a mark. Now another, I need to make a caveat, because you're supposed to, the safest way to do this is to have a pair of gloves on, which I don't have with me. Have a pair of gloves, make sure everything is clear in front. Always move it away. You'd be surprised at how strong the suction is from this thing. But you got to move everything aside. I have a towel here, but there's stuff on that. But wear glasses, protect your hands, just to be safe. You don't want anything falling. Now, another thing, I don't run it up all the way. I'll run it up at most half. But well, I do appreciate the 21 likes, though. Bruce Beamer, I did do a video a while ago with somebody on a park bench. I've even done some at the field. So, okay, so let's get started. So first thing I do is mark one blade. I usually use a blue marker because the ink shows up on black pretty easily. I don't know if you guys can see that. See how it shows up? See how it shows up on there? You can see it? Okay. So part of this is feel, and I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it through the mic or not. I doubt it. But a majority of what we're feeling, what we're going to be dealing with, move this a little more that way. Getting bad signal. So a lot of this is going to be sound and vibration. So again, clear everything out of the way, run it up. This is my baseline. So let me get a little closer. You can hear that I'm rubbing it up against the table and it's making a noise. So the first thing you do is, there's 12 blades. I just use the blades for reference. Go along each blade until it sounds the best. Sometimes that's all it takes to do it. But most of the time it gets you, a baseline to start. You make another mark, and I'll show you when I get there. And then that's your reference point, and then you go from there. So what I'm going to do first, let me get the weights made up. I'm not going to go on there yet. But this is not scientific. This is just how I do it. This is just how it's worked. I just make little squares. It depends on how bad the fan is. A lot of times, just using a couple squares will work. So just cut like that, and cut that in half. I usually start with 6 of these doubled, and I'll set them in a place where I can get to them pretty easy. Today, I'm going to put them on the smart charger right there, just to hold the spot. So I'll get 6 of those set up. Yeah, Bruce Beamer, that was the one at the where I used to fly at Baylands Park. So again, get these as close as you can to symmetrical. I'm going to start with 6 of those, and then I'm going to do 6 just individual by themselves. Lots of birds and other stuff flying around. Excuse me. No, but I was making noise. It's more even. And guys, I've used this on 50 millimeter fans, 64 millimeter fan, 70 millimeter, 80, 90, 105, 120, doesn't matter. There are slightly different methods for adding and removing weight. This is the simplest, but there are some more complex ways to do it. I'm just going to go over the most simple. This is for the type of spinners. FMS are like that. Some of the Freewing, E-Flight. The new E-Flights have good setups with that metal cone. Those are, I think I've gotten the best balances on it. The new Platinum and E-Flight. New Platinum FMS and the E-Flight, the ones in the Havoc and the ones in the new F-18. We've got those balanced really good. Right. So that's 6 of those. Those are the doubles, and I'll do 6 of singles. Probably won't need all of those, but it's a good place to start. Just so you have everything you need. So there's 2. These scissors are going a little too far. Oops. Alright, so that's 4, so just 2 more, and we're good to go. So I see Waz, what are you guys saying in the chat? Yeah, RC Waz do with the new metal spinners on the FMS and the E-Flight, make it way easier to balance. Much easier. The metal stays where you put it. Now, one thing I didn't bring with me is Loctite. Once you get this stuff set, you do want to Loctite the spinner in place. But I didn't bring it with me today. This is actually going to a customer. He bought this and an Afterburner unit and the ESC. So he's got a special project that he's going to be doing. This is all going to go to him. Okay, so I've got all the weights set up. set aside out of the way. So now I'm going to work on getting this thing balanced. So I can work on getting this balanced. So made my reference line right there, and one on the blade. Now this is going to change if I find a better place on these fans. I mean on these blades. So if I find the perfect spot, I'm going to wipe that off with the alcohol on the rag and then mark the whole blade in line with that line. Okay, so we already know that's making noise. So grab this, move it over. Still making noise. Move over. Guys, I'll get to the chat here in a minute. Run it up a little bit more. Okay, so it's getting better. Let's see. So you balance the blades by adding weight as opposed to shaving the blades. Yeah, Marshall, I'm touching the spinner. There are other ways you can do it by pulling this off and balancing it with a, like the balancers that they use for props. You can balance it that way. Most of these are usually really good. Most of the balance that's happening with these guys is going to be here on the spinner. This one I think has already been balanced because I saw marks in there. But from what I've noticed, almost all of the fine tuning comes from doing it here on the spinner. And again, this isn't the only way to do it. This is the way I do it. This is the easiest for me. There are other ways. If you want to be really technical about it, rip the whole thing apart. Get a balancer, a prop balancer, or whatever, one of those magnetic balancers. Balance this. Put all that back. Or you could even, and then balance this. But even when you put those back together, it still may not be perfect because they could be off center just a little bit. So doing what I'm doing actually works pretty good. Hey, bird. So I've gone 2 over so far. Now, if you notice anywhere that you feel working pretty good, just make a little mark. I'm not going to do it here. Just make a little mark. It is getting better, so eventually I'll get to that point and start marking them. Let's go over there. Another over. Again, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. And hopefully you get to learn something. It's getting better and better. Alright, let's move over again. Starting to sound better, so let's see. Okay. I'm sorry. Bump the camera. Oh, it's getting better. I can feel it more than you guys can probably hear it. I'm gonna mark those first two. Go back to here and here. Mark those. Those could be good. Let's go there. Move it over. better. I think it was the best back here. We do these three. Let's see. Kind of going in reverse instead of just going forward. Yeah, that one's good. So I'm glad I marked those. Those are good compared to where I just was. Let's go over some more. It's there. Let's finish that one. Let's see. Yeah, I think those couple marks are going to be the good ones because I'm almost to the end. Yeah, I think those other spots are the best. I'm almost to the end, so I'm just going to finish this up, but I'm going to go back to those two. And probably stick with those. So that's not going to be it. It's not good, but it's just good to go through all of them just to be sure. Yeah, Keon's right. With some of the Freewing fans, they have metal hubs and they have individual blades. So every time you connect it, or every time you part, it throws the balance off. Best thing to do is to tighten it down, leave it that way, and then shave. Figure out where the heavy spot is, and then add weight, and then you remove weight on the opposite side of where you added weight. That's more complicated. We're not going to do that today. So let's go back to those couple spots that we saw were good. Where were they? Couple spots in here. So I'm going to try to find the best between these three. Start there. Yeah, that was a good one. That one. Let me try the other one. Those three. I'm going to just out of these three. And then that's going to be my main reference point. Just two. I think they all sound about the same. Yeah, I'm going to add it to this middle one. That sounds better. Okay, so here, move it there. This is going to be where we start. So this is the original mark I made. I only made a little one because I knew I'd have to change. I might have to change it. So that's all getting wiped off. Alcohol. Wipe that off. And now, technically I should have unplugged it, which I'm going to do just to be safe. This is the new reference point. Right here. So this doesn't need to be moved until I need to take it off to put the weight on the inside. So this will be the first step. Sometimes I can get it perfect on the first try, but a lot of times I have to add weight in multiple places to get it to work. Oh, God dang, another siren. What the hell? It's been so quiet. Now I've got sirens. Anyway. Alright. So that's where we're starting. So as you can see, the blue ink shows up really well. Even though it's on black, you can see it. Alright. So now, there's a couple ways you can do this, but I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to just take one of these double weights right here, and just choose a place. Doesn't matter where, but it's always best to start from the spot where you can reference. So I'm going to start here. And I already put alcohol on there, so I know that it's going to stick. Now the most important thing is we're not going to run this up all the way. We're only going to run it up slowly. Setting the throttle range on the ESC real quick. Okay, so this way will come on right away. All right, so now we're just going to take this weight and move it along all these blades. And then after you do this, when you find a spot that's good, there's actually, you can move it up and down on here to see if it works any better. So let's see. So I already found that one. That didn't sound too hot. So let's move over one. And again, we're lining it up with each blade. Okay. Still making noise. Let's move it over. Keeps making noise. Move it over. And again, see how I'm not running it up crazy high? Doesn't need to. So I'm going to the chat. You guys following along okay? Okay. Okay, so that's not really helping. I'm gonna go over another one. Still making noise. And if it doesn't help with this, with these two, I might drop down to one. Let's see. Usually starting with two is the best, but sometimes one's enough. This is why you don't run it up really fast. And you wear glasses. It's still making noise. Starting to get better. Okay. Noticing a difference. Okay, that other one's better. So I felt something better here. Is it there? Let's see. Over there again. Yeah, that's better. So I might have to choose another spot because we've already come all the way back around. Let me see where it is. Let's go back one. Let's pull that off and see. It's two back. No. Wow. That sounds really good already. So I'm going to go back down to one. Yeah. Let's go back down to one because two wasn't good. I'm just going to go backwards this time. I think I might have gotten it good with just the spinner alone. So let's see. Okay, I'm going to take all the weight off. Let's put that back. So I think it sounded really good just by moving the weight. I mean, by moving the spinner. It needs a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this in half. I don't think it needs much. Just a little bit. All right, so let's start over. Put some here. Yeah, so that might be it. Okay, so it doesn't need much weight, but it does need a little fine tuning. So I'm going to use one small smidge of tape. Let's see what happens. Get better. Is it making sense to you guys? All right, just found it. That's it. So I don't know if there's a way you can hear. Let me see if I can get the mic closer to the table. But that's perfect right there. So let me take this piece and move it all up and down that area. Let's move it to the front, because sometimes moving it up here makes it even better. Yeah. Let's try to go all the way back. Thanks to the 36 people still in here. Still a little bit of noise. Let me move over one more. Let's see. Let's try. Yeah. That's it. A little over. Not running. Forward. Yep. Okay. Okay, so is that making sense to you guys? So let me see if I can get the mic close enough to where you can hear. All right, so let's get the mic close. So this is the balance point. That's where balance is. So right there. When you take this off, mark it right there. So you take this off and you pull the spinner off and put it on the inside. So give me just a second, guys. All right, so let's see here. So you can see the mark. It's marked with that blade. That line, I'm going to mark it again. That's my main reference. So when I pull this apart, I'll know to take this, put it on the inside in that position, and then line that line up with this. Okay. Let's do that. Safest thing to do. Unplug that first. And then I'll purposely move the spinner into a spot where it'll make noise so that you guys can hear how much of a difference it makes by putting this thing where I did. Let's take this, put that right there. So see there's that there. I put it on the inside. And then once you get this back on, you can, to really fine tune, you can move just a little bit back and forth that way. So you make it perfect. But I'm going to put it right there. And connect. Okay, so you guys can really hear it. All right, good. Glad you can hear. All right. Yep, perfect. There's a little bit of noise, so I'm going to move the spinner just a little bit. Yeah, and I can tell why, because the spinner's off. Let's move back just a little bit. And that. There we go. That's it. And now when I pick it up off the table and put it on the table, you can't hear any difference. All right, so let's purposely take it out of balance so you can see. So I have my reference marked. I'll be able to put it back easy. I'm just going to choose a blade, any blade, so you can hear. Keon's right. You hear a certain whistle and you know it's right. So I purposely moved it. So that's way out of balance. You guys hear the difference? Just give me a thumbs up or something if you can hear it. I'm going to move it back. There. And run it up and it'll be perfect. All right. There we go. Now there's no difference. So there you go. That's it. And then I've marked it. So if anything happens, like something comes off inside, which it shouldn't, centrifugal force will hold it. But that's it. That's as simple as it gets. So let me switch back to the other camera, guys. Give me just a second. So that's it. Oh wow, I've got a light behind me. Let me a second. All right. So there we go. Hopefully that made sense. That makes sense. So I'm glad you guys can actually hear, because it's I didn't know if you hear the difference from this mic, but if you did, great. But really, I mean, that was an easy one, because let me see here. I gotta turn this off. Hope you don't have echo. All right. So let's see. I can keep up on the chat here. Sorry. Hey, Mary Boozer, I didn't see you in here. How's it going? Cam's up there and I'm looking down, so sorry, guys. So, Bruce Beamer, there's, like I said, this is one way. There are several ways to do it. This is the way I use. It's the easiest for me. There are people that use computers, special machines to do it. My method works pretty much the same, but it's completely up to you how you want to do it. This is easy. I like easy, and like I said, depending upon the type of fan this is, I can do this at the field. So, as I was saying on the stream there, you can pull all this stuff apart. Just balance the rotor and then balance the spinner all by itself. Boozer, let me know you're here more often. That's cool. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. And you can do it that way. That's a complicated way, and then you do, several other different ways. What I've noticed in my experience, if it's really bad, sometimes I'll have to balance the rotor itself. But most of the time, the spinner alone is what does it all. These things spin so fast, and if you can't feel vibration here, chances are there isn't any. If it's not bouncing around and scratching, I mean, look at the tolerance in there on the blades. There's not much room. So if you are able to balance it just by hand, and it's not shaking around, you're doing fine. There's no point in a bug coming after me. Urgh, get out of here. So it's simple, but it works. If I don't clean this really well and I go too fast, yeah, the tape will fly off. I showed it here a few minutes ago. The tape did start to come off. That's another important part. This is the good tape. This is 3M electrical tape. This is the good stuff. Scotch, 3M. This is black. The red and the blue tend to stick a little bit better. Actually, the green, red, blue, green tend to stick pretty good. The black is doesn't stick the best. So when it comes to stuff flying off, this is the one that will fly off when balancing. But if you do that step where you go through and clean it with alcohol, that makes it stick a lot better. You notice too, when I was putting it on, I'd push it down pretty good. That helped too. Sorry, I bumped the mic again. Hold on, let me check out the chat. Man, 40 people. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I'm going to do a couple more of these over the next couple days. Tomorrow, I'm going to pull out my F104. I have to upgrade the Afterburner in that. I have an FMS fan in there, but I have to upgrade the Afterburner to the newest setup. So I'm going to do that. Give me just a second, guys. I need to go do something real quick. I'll be back. All right, so the FMS burner that I have has the older style LED array. So I'm going to be changing it to this style, which is much, much brighter, and it diffuses light a lot better. So this is an FMS 80 millimeter unit, and you can see where I've balanced it. This one's actually got a couple marks instead of one. Reckham, this is from the E-Flight F4. The guy that I sold it to didn't want any of this. So Jeff, thanks for coming by and watching. I hope you got something out of it. Be sure to like it, and if it helped, save it and come back, look at it. I got people behind me working in the kitchen, so you'll hear stuff, hear noises. Anyway, so any other questions you guys got? All right, cool. Glad I was able to help you guys out with it. I mean, this is something that you can use at the, you can even do this at the field. I've done it at the field a couple times. I think it was this fan, a fan like this, that I balanced at the field. It's not that hard to do. Just have to be careful. And then it's easy to do. Sometimes it takes 10, 15 minutes. Marshall, I think that could be like the official day. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? Let's just make it 6:45. That gives me time. Once I have to go back to work, I'll be able to do it after. But yeah, I plan on doing a couple more of these for the next couple of days, because I got to be working on stuff. And since I have these things to do this, I may as well just let you guys see while I'm working. So I'm going to remove and install the Afterburner on my F104. Sorry to bring back memories, Victor, but F104. Did you ever get yours running again? Your F104? Dennis Farley, yes, it is. And you can do it with you can balance these with the with those balancers the same way. It works the same. It's just there's more points to work with. And again, this isn't the only way, but it's the way that works for me. This light's really bright, guys. This is a light from Harbor Freight. Stupid bright. 20 bucks. It's a work light. I use it as a work light. Move back a little bit. I won't be so bright. Any other questions while you guys got me here? Sorry to hear it, Victor. Yeah, I've still got mine. I haven't flown it enough. And I need to get it out. So I'm going to swap out the burner and then plan to get it flying. So guys, if you want to see a burner install, I'm going to do it tomorrow. I've already got the other stuff in, so it'll just be running the wire. And this is the one that I'm doing is a 90 millimeter FMS unit. So, hey, Mike Keller, it's kind of like what you've already got now. But we're going to be changing you up. Glad to help, Keith Christie. Oh, you know what I can do? I can wrench you guys. That's what I was going to do. I was going to get the charger. So let me get to my stream. I will give people winches. So Colin, you get a wrench. Keith, you get a wrench. Who else doesn't? Mr. Boozer gets a wrench. Who else? Pellegrino gets a wrench. Mr. McNeil gets a wrench. Cool. So hey, Pilot Ryan, did you see? Does that make sense to you? Joe Pellegrino, does this time work for you guys? Is it too late or too early? I don't want to get in the way of Jeff's Custom and the other guys because I know they're going on. There we go. Oops. I didn't realize that comment was sitting on there. Any other questions before I get going, guys? I mean, I can hang out and answer questions if you guys want, or if you're tired, we can call it a night. I killed my phone. It's down to 15%. I never do that. Oh, now it's on charge. Never mind. I'm good. I thought it was charging the whole time. I guess not. Let's see, Ryan, did you get a wrench? You're gonna get one. Don't worry. Wrench. Hey Nate, did you get to see any of the? Well, you've seen me bounce before. Pilot Ryan, you got a wrench. All right, guys, I think everybody's got a wrench. And Madhouse, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, Randy, I was looking at that. I was gonna watch your videos. If anybody else has any questions, I will try to answer, and if not, then I'm gonna get going. There's still 33 people here, so I don't want to check out if you guys want to talk a little more. Yeah, I really your video on my how-tos, because that was really good info. Thanks for coming by, man. And Eddie K, thanks for coming. Well, let me see where you are. Yeah, you add a wrench for you too. There you go. But if there's anything you guys would want to talk about or want me to go over, I'm open to suggestions. Once this is gone, once I've already done this, since I've already uploaded it, you guys can still leave comments. And if you can think of anything that you want me to talk about, just leave it in the comments. And yeah, if you guys haven't subscribed already, like this video, subscribe, and when you do subscribe, let me show you guys here on the phone. There's the bell that you need to click. Subscribe to all. That's the one you need to do. That way you won't miss anything. And it will, if I'm going to do a live, give you the countdown of how long it's going to be before it comes on. So it'll be definitely worth it. It depends. As of late, FMS has been really good, and E-Flight has been really good. Freewing, it's hit and miss. Some are good, some not. Dennis Farley, same day I grew up. Legit. Well, hey, Dennis, I'm thinking about doing something for Warbirds too. So, do it. That way, when you go to full throttle on your Warbird on like a P-51, you'll see stuff out the exhaust stack. So I'm thinking of doing something like that. Thanks, Red Baron. You always help. Jeff, did you get any info from do you see anything you could take away from? Light up a little bit. That's a little better. Cool. All right, guys, so that's it. I'm going to get going. Unless anybody else has any questions. Oh, Victor, the new 6S would probably be really good in the F-104. The only issue is the weight. When I changed to the FMS, the plane was a lot easier to fly. So, and I gained about a minute flying time over the Freewing. So, RC Air Marshal, I can mess with Arduinos. I choose not to. It's because it makes the process a lot more complicated. But maybe I can do some sort of do-it-yourself. Dennis Farley, thanks for hanging out. See you later. And RC Waz, dude, thanks for hanging out. I hope I was able to help you out with this. And TN Scoot, I'm working on that. Been working on it in the background, but I am working on a smoke system that can be refilled instead of just being a one-time use. I've used the one-time use with Hobby King cartridges, but we'll see. Victor Shamulus, the FMS totally changed the way that the F-104 flew. It shifted the CG forward about that much, and the plane lost weight, so everything was better. Flight time, I could fly around comfortably below half throttle with no issue. And full throttle, since it's lighter, goes like a rocket ship. So tomorrow I'm going to have it out. I'll be able to, if you guys get time, you can come look at what I do with that. We're changing the burner. Have to pull the whole motor out to do that, so you guys will be able to see how that works. And yeah, I know a few people that know Arduino programming. Somebody just sent me one. The only issue with Arduinos is it's extra work. So, and extra parts. I'd rather it just be plug and play. So maybe it'll be one of those things where it's more of a do-it-yourself. And 200 driver, thanks for hanging. I'll see you later. And yeah, Jeff's Customs, I'm going to send you a message on Instagram too, so check that out. But let me get going, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Been a good day. I'll be out again doing something tomorrow. So that's it. So like, subscribe, all that. Jeff's RC Customs, check your Instagram. I'm going to shoot you a message here right now. All right, guys, I'm checking out. See you later.